Well, hello, everybody. Sorry we're a few minutes late. Apparently, there is internet
Internet
interference.
issues.
There's internet interference across the
Yeah.
world.
I mean, do we have anybody here? I can't find my phone, and
I have,
calling it is useless because I shut it off. I've been on this is my fourth show today, so I shut off my phone, so I have no idea where it is, and I can't hear it because there's no
we
volume. The ringer is off.
we have Barbara Hart Love,
Okay.
but we would love if anyone else is here to please let us know you're here because we were having such difficulty coming online.
And
But
YouTube
we
is a
did.
mess.
YouTube's a mess. Zoom's a mess. Apparently, I tried to post something onto YouTube and it wouldn't take it. So
Yep.
I don't know if that even happened. Let me check. It may have. It may
Every
not.
show from today is downloading, and my shows automatically go. They don't download.
Isn't that weird? Yeah, my post that I did. I just did a post for my channel. It's not showing up.
And
So
Zoom is a mess too, because Zoom was a mess yesterday. I was trying to post pictures. Zoom's been a mess for a couple of days. When was I gave a reading on Sunday, and I couldn't share any photos.
mm, mm. It's so weird.
And they must have changed something because now I can select more than one photo at a time, which I don't want to do. I just want to show one photo, and it wouldn't transfer to the screen.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird. Well, okay, so we are in a new moon solar eclipse with Aquarius, who rules frequency. So
Yeah,
if we think that we're getting somewhere, we may not be getting anywhere
yeah,
with
we're
that
not
going
getting
on.
anywhere.
And we have the fire horse, Chinese New Year. The fire horse started at the same time the eclipse did, which was at like 7:01 a.m. this morning.
Yep.
And we have the alignment of Saturn and Neptune coming to 0 degrees 44 minutes on the 20th of February. That is our entrance into the new era. But see, we
Uh-huh.
had to do this eclipse first. We're in eclipse season. There'll be another one on March 3rd uh, because that is helping us remove anything else that is stuck. Well, I kept getting these messages all day. By the way, hi, I'm Valerie. This is Illumination Portal. That's Diana
Hi, by the
Bowles,
way.
oil painter. And we're astrology buddies, and we come on and we talk about this stuff. And we're so glad that you find it interesting and you come and hang out with us because we love to get into it. Now, this is unprecedented. I don't think we can say that word or epic or phenomenal in enough times, in enough sentences, in enough ways, because there is no way to predict what is going on. And we don't really do astrology prediction. We rely on our intuition and our psychic abilities for that. If things come up, we know it means it's meaningful to us. But even with that, we're in Aquarius season, 28 degrees, pretty close to the last degree of Aquarius. And this new moon solar eclipse is squaring Uranus. So it's like that. And Uranus is one of the rulers of Aquarius. I mean, he's the new ruler. Saturn's his old ruler. But you see how they're all in play. They're all in play, and now Neptune's here to go along for the ride. And I mean, it's so massive. I was just going to try to stay on today because it's massive. And what you plant, you plant your seeds on a new moon. However you want to do this, make sure that you do a release ceremony for the eclipse. and then plant your seeds, however you want to do that. Know that this is mental. Aquarius is an air sign, and it's fast, and it's innovative, and it's way far ahead of everybody else. It's really far advanced. So any of those hits you're getting, really listen to them, because they're not far-fetched. This is how we're going to maneuver into that higher frequency. It is all frequency. So knowing that stuff comes instantaneously, you can speak it into existence instantaneously. Things can appear. I mean, it really, it's that magical. The thing is, we've been taught that we don't have any magic. We don't have that power. That's what blocks it. I'm not saying that's everything, but as we raise in frequency, those things are coming more and more to the light, and it's the truth of who we are. Because this limited dimension is not what humanity is not humanity's best and brightest. Let's just put it that way. There's so much more going on, and we are all a part of this, and we are the ones that are creating this new era. But the only thing that is being asked of us is to believe and to take it and go with your crazy ideas. Do the crazy thing. The crazier, the better. In fact, with Aquarius, because they're like, yeah, here's some more. Bring it. Now, that's just to say, I don't know, have no idea how this is all going to pan out. I do know we're raising in frequency. I do know that we're in the eclipse season. I do know we're in the Aquarius sun season. The basic things we do know, but for how it's going to play out and when it's going to play out, because that was my big question for this whole week to my team. And they're like, why are you trying to put labels on it? Why are you trying to define something that's indefinable? And I was like, okay, well, what do I do with that? And they were just, the belief in the belief and faith and belief into the opening up into the highest frequencies possible. We have interference. We have the lowest frequencies possible doing everything they can to take our attention and drag it down into the mud. And I'm not saying that didn't work once upon a time, because it does, right? I mean, you can't help it. You hear some horrific things and you just have to go and process all that. But my guides are telling me something that was pretty cool. It's about they can't take you anywhere. They can't make you do anything. You're there as a witness to call out the truth. The truth is, it is wrong to abuse children on any level. That's not heart-centered, soul-centered behavior. So as we can stand in our truth and see that and say that, no matter what they do, because they're throwing everything they can at the wall right now. And you can see they're in a hurry, because they know something's coming, something that can prevent them from going any further, because they can't raise in frequency. They know that. I don't know, Diana, does that make sense to you so far?
Yes, the whole did. I'm a little
You still
distracted
looking?
because I had a certain type of cards that I wanted to use today, and I know they should be here, but I can't find.
I'm getting your team wants you to use a different deck. They're like, she's got another deck that they want you to use. I don't know what it is. It's kind of trickster day, right? This is kind of like Mercury activity, lower frequency right? Mercury.
Yeah, look what's going on with the internet.
And where is Mercury? My goodness, Mercury is right there with Venus somewhere. Oh, no. Am I on the right one? Where's Mercury?
No, Mercury.
Mercury is 16 degrees Pisces. Venus is 8 degrees Pisces. But Venus is conjunct the 8 degrees North Node. So what does that say? The North Node is where we're headed. We choose, just remember that. Oh, this is our choice. You're choosing with your Venus what you love and value, what matters to you, what makes your heart smile, and please do that or take a step towards it because that is the way forward. Venus is right on that north node. The north node is our way forward. Venus is what we love and value. It's pretty clear. That's what Spirit is asking of us. Um, we have, of course, we have the sun and the moon at 28 degrees of Aquarius, which is it's a cross right across from that. Leo 28, 29 0 Virgo is the fixed royal star Regulus. It's a really good degree. Reduces down to a 1. I kept getting this is radical recalibrations, recalibration of the divine blueprint within you. So what we are used to believing was our reality, we know is being upgraded, right? And we're the ones upgrading it. The only limit you have is the one that we put on our own limit. If I limit myself, that's my limit. No one can limit me, but I can limit myself, as can all of us. The armor is gone. Pretty much the snake has shed its skin. I'm not sure I'm all there in with that just yet, because it takes a year for the fire horse and he's got to go through his cycles. But I heard this earlier today, and I thought this was really cool. When you ride a horse, it's all your senses are involved, and you're pretty much having a psychic conversation with the horse, right? And all of his senses and your senses or her senses have to be on the same page for you to go anywhere. So that was kept coming in my mind too. Of we are doing this by instinct, by our gut, by our inner knowing, and believe me, if you get the big no, going left is a no, please listen to it, because that's our way. That's how we were always to navigate this realm.
Right.
But they've put a lot of monkey wrenches in this realm and had us all tripping over each other. But now we know better. And that frequency feels good. And we know that we can play in the magic, because you are the magic. That's what I wrote down for the title of it. And then they had me change it this morning. I can't even remember to what. But it was important at the moment. So it's just, that's how I do my life. It's every day, and it's not like they do stuff like that to me all the time. But if it's something that I need to pay attention to, and I think, Diana, you can attest to this, you'll hear it a couple of times. It'll constantly come back up in some way. So please heed your, not in a warning way, but listen to your team, because your team is there for you to raise in frequency, to help you navigate through this area. And we're in a very strange part of the area as the old era is dying and the new era is being born. So we have a spirit team and we have a unique birth chart. If anyone would like a reading, Diana's information and my information are in the description box. We would love to do reading. We could do them together or separate. It's important. This is a threshold. This is a gateway. This is a portal. You are the portal. That's the reason why I named my channel Illumination Portal, because you are it. Once you see it, you are it. And that portal, that you can, you travel universes in unexpressed amounts of time is endless, and you are in a Merkaba traveling these universes. If you think of it like that, everything that we've been taught here has been to limit us. So I just don't want anyone to be limited. How do we bridle this energy? Oh, Leah's coming in. Hi, Leah. Well, it's kind of like surfing, right? Energy waves. That's how I would. I mean, it's just like what comes up is if I'm into researching something and I feel like I'm being guided to keep digging, keep going, I do. And then, you know, I'll get a go over here and I'll do that. That's how I do it. That's just how I live my life. I gave, I had absolutely nothing, was in horrific pain, and couldn't have got any worse. I really didn't think I was going to be here much longer. And I just felt like, my arm was being twisted. It's like, well, if I listen to my guides, maybe if I experiment, it doesn't hurt to try. Anything got to be better than this situation. And it grew from there.
Yeah.
I was pretty hard
How many years ago was that? Gosh. Right. Well, that was right as we were meeting each other, like 5 years ago, right?
Well, that was like the third part of it. You know how it comes in layers, I'd say that the last, when we had the last solar maximum was 2012. But I had been going through that since like 2007, 8,
Okay.
9, and as
Well,
each year
okay.
was getting going on, it was just getting worse. And I was like, well, these solar flares are going to kill me, or I'm going to kill me. Something is trying to kill me. That's what I felt like.
Well,
But
that
once
was when Pluto went into Capricorn, 2007, 2008.
it hit me immediately, and I didn't know any of that at that time, But I mean, isn't it cool to have gone to the other side, or to as far as the other side as we have journeyed thus far, and here we are going, wow, and this is just. I mean, we're entering a new era, the golden age. This is like discussed in ancient texts, and we're here.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing I can add.
I don't even know. I love that Diana. It's her fourth show today, so I'm trying not to have her talk much, and of course, if you want to talk, you talk as much as you want. But I know it's
no, it's a collaboration. I mean, so back when Pluto went into Capricorn, that's when my marriage fell apart. That's when my was running around on me with my good friend and neighbor who I was painting a mural for. And every time I was 52 hours to paint this mural for free, because she's my friend. And they knew where I was, so they were where they were.
I'm sorry. I know I had to go through stuff like that too back then.
Yeah. I mean, and then being the person that, that has been with somebody for 25, 30 years, you just, I don't want to be married to you, but now how the hell do I stop being your spouse?
Yep. It's like
you just can't.
Yeah, it's like the awareness of, okay, everything that's not for me has got to be disentangled out of my cellular structure. And you feel I'm sure all of you have gone through this on some level.
Yeah.
Not minimizing anybody's stuff. But man, that is not a journey on the other side. And I didn't know this was here, though. I had no idea this side of it was here. When Diana and I met, well, we all met like in 2020. I had been pretty much just coming out of working. I started to retire, so I really was so excited just to do what I love all the time, astrology and all the spiritual stuff, and that that was that part of the journey was just amazing, because that's where I met all of you, and we got to all meet each other. And I mean, here we are 5 years later, still we have a good relationship going, you know,
Yeah.
prior to those ones in
Yeah.
2007. My God.
We have done some things together in separate states.
I know, it's crazy.
State of chaos.
I love that. Oh my God, I love that. That's what I should have named the show, Diana. State of Chaos.
Yep.
That's the perfect name for this show, for this day, because it is. It's a big,
Well,
huge day.
yeah, look, I mean, YouTube isn't working. Zoom isn't working. StreamYard's not behaving itself. That static is still in the wires somewhere. Now, I haven't had it in any of the other shows I did today, so I'm inclined to think it's you because the last time we were together, it was there. But what if it's not
Yes.
just you? What if it's you and me together? What if the problem is our connection? You know, like the
Well,
old
damn.
party lines back in the 50s, which you probably don't remember because you weren't born yet.
Well,
But
that's
we
why
had a
we
party
did.
line. You picked it up, and if you know, so you could share a line with 3 people with 3 different
I
households.
know.
I was like, are you fucking kidding me? What is this shit? Well, of course, who knew better? But it was kind of
Well,
funny. My grandmother used to run numbers. And so she'd pick it, party line was there, you know, and she'd be whispering into the phone in case the party line picked up while she was on it running numbers.
I love it. Oh my God, yeah. Everybody ran numbers back in the day, that's
Everybody.
for sure.
Yeah. That
You
was
had to
before
do
the Irish
something,
sweepstakes were legal.
right? And you had to do
Ooh.
something. You had to do something to make some extra money. Well, that's exactly an Aquarius card. Oh my God, it's
Isn't it?
vibrational.
Vibrational. Vibrational. For
I
sure.
love that. Oh my God. Did you guys hear? This would be probably the worst thing I'm going to bring up. I don't want to go into all the dark, nasty shit there. I'll get to the
I
other
don't
side
think
of
we
that.
could be.
No. But do you know that Epstein won the lotto twice? One for 84 million, twice in New Mexico. Yeah. So this is
Yeah.
showing us
And how
that
did he rig that shit?
everything's rigged. One was for 40 million, one was for 84 million. So how do you win? That's not. And I will dig into that more, but I did it a few days ago, and I feel like I learned all I needed to know about that because this is the most unfortunate thing about everything going on, and I think we can all see that is that we are being shown that everything we thought was real, what they quote unquote said was real, is not real. And uh, so what now we could I mean I do grieve that. I grieve it, but I kind of always knew it wasn't real, so I wasn't. I mean, it's still shocking though. Still takes my you know, just it destabilizes you. And how do we do that, right? Well, if we go back to community, what we were just saying, our community, whether or not that those structures hold, or systems aren't going to hold. But I can't sit here and tell you what ones are going to make it and what ones aren't. You know, I really don't have that information. I kind of have an idea, but I wouldn't say it like that. So um, we are the ones that really are responsible for creating the way forward, creating a new era. And I don't know if anyone else has like a list of how you would like to see the world. I have these lists I make on how the world could be a better place if this, and this. Yeah. I don't know. I just might be crazy, but that's okay. Right? And I don't know, Dinah, what do you think about seeing the world for what it really is? I mean, the systems that we had to live under. I think seeing you and seeing our friends here is a whole different world than that world. Did I lose you?
Whoops, I didn't know I was muted.
Did
I
you
thought
know
I unmuted it and it muted itself.
I saw that because I didn't see you mute anything.
No,
But,
exactly. Okay, so anyway,
hmm,
what I was going to say is so many of us in this community have already known. But don't forget, we've also had to really live in the 3D world, even though our minds were already in the 5D world. You know, those of us who are retired, now we have a different gambit going on. We play chess a different game now. We don't have to worry so much about who's the pawn and where's the pawn, because now we're out here like the bishop and we can move on an angle for a long time. We can checkmate things. Focus more locally. Yeah. Yeah. You know, I'm trying to think how Rick Levine says it. His closing line, the closing line is act locally, but think cosmically, act locally.
in globe, I thought he had globally. I don't remember now.
No,
But
think cosmically, because it's all in the stars.
Right.
And it is.
It really is. It really truly is a true statement. But we're talking huge cycles, huge energy that's going in cycle after cycle, and it comes down into our realm, into us individually.
Did you know that we had we had 3 M-class flares. All of them were in the high number range. And it was on the far side of the sun, but we were still in a GO1 storm because it was just on a clipper. And it got us enough. We had a GO1 that was earlier, a GO1 yesterday, and then was renamed GO2. By now it must be down again. But if you've been feeling exhausted, it's because we had solar flares. Which, when don't we have solar flares?
Yeah.
And even if it's not facing the earth, doesn't mean you don't feel it. Like to build the world a home and furnish it with love. Thank you. I remember that song, and it's playing in my head.
Yeah.
To build the world a home.
Yeah.
Furnish it with love. Yeah.
And that's what we're doing. That's what we're going to do going forward. And we do that by our heart and what we love. And you got to know what's going on, and you got to be able to see it, process it, and come back to what you love. And it's more of, I think we've been in this training ground. Well, they're saying all of our lives, right? We're straddling the lower frequency, third dimension, and higher. And it's like there is no just fifth dimension. Many of you here are way seventh, eighth, ninth,
Yeah.
There's no limit.
And the part of the reason why we can't just stay there all the time is because we don't live in an ashram, because we still have to deal with these things.
Mm-hmm.
We just can at least choose when we go out to deal with them. Where before we were thrown into it because we have daily lives that incorporate children going to school, and you're having to work or not and still having to deal with the PTA, things that make you go,
Yeah, all of it. It's like, oh my God, and it was all just a ruse. But anyway, yeah, it is interesting to see how we all have adapted. I mean, think about the
Yeah.
adaptability we have. Because I remember when this first started happening, like I'm sure many of you do, I was totally devastated. I thought I was a target. I was like, I did something to piss God off. I don't know what it was, but something happened, you know. And until you understand and you work through all that crap, all those things that have you thinking like limited like that, right? Do you really get to see what I mean, I would have never known this was on the other side of things. Even though I don't know what this is, I know my life is beautiful. I enjoy life. I give every moment of life, whether it's good or bad, and it's that's a perspective. It's a good experience or a bad experience. You know, it's not. But I remember when bad experiences would devastate me. You know, and it put me down into the holes and stuff. But
Yeah.
we've come a long way and we deserve to celebrate that tonight, you know, and maybe do a little ceremony, anything. Write down what does your new world look like? What do
Well,
you
and this is it, because the 20th, when we have Saturn and Neptune at, they're already at 0 degrees, but we
yeah,
have them 0 degrees and 44 minutes of arc. We have that exact conjunction.
you
That,
can't make that up.
yeah, right. And that is when you can see the role reversal that I've mentioned a few times today, because I've been on a couple shows. But we talked about it on Sunday. You know, Saturn is the Hierophant, the school principal, the father figure of the zodiac, and the planets. And when we think of him and his rules and regulations, how many times have we gotten the bad pope, or the bad dad, or the mean school principal?
Mm,
Well, now we've got the softer school principal. That Neptune has softened him a little bit. They've just spent what, 8 years in Pisces together, 7 years, mucking it up, getting mucked up. No, it wasn't that many years, but Neptune was in Pisces much longer than Saturn was in Pisces.
right.
But that all that water of Pisces, who is ruled by Neptune, and then we had Saturn, the king of the earth signs, getting in there and really squishing and making all that dirt into mud. And then that mud got so thick and so cloudy, and every time the whale jumped out of the water and smacked the surface of the water with his tail, it all went splaying everywhere and started all over again. And so now we have reached the point where the clay, the soil has separate, and it is separated to the point where now they are in a fire sign. That near conjunction is the ignition. They've just lit the fires. Today we lit the fire. However,
yeah.
it's going to take till the 20th to get the oven hot enough to make the pizza the best,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
You have to have a hot oven, and that's how you make adobe bricks. So here comes our new foundation with the sense of the dreams of Neptune, with Saturn leading the way, because he will skate ahead of Neptune, but he will certainly have a better understanding of what this new foundation and boundary is going to look like, because he's more aware of the softness of the dreams and the illusion that can become realities. And he's going to fix the rules. Now, we can't expect that to happen overnight by any means.
Right. But you're absolutely right. He's going to adjust. It's not the harshness of it, of what used to be. And don't you think that Saturn, like, remember how they would say Saturn is, you know, the patriarchy and the black cube and time, and yeah, right. But since he hung out with Neptune for the last few years, right, I feel he's evolved. I feel they're all evolving.
Well, and if you've ever worked with pottery, you know the kiln has to be a certain temperature. You can't make it too hot and you can't make it too cold. You have to dry it evenly. So it has to be, what are your pieces like? How many pieces can you put in there? You know, it's the same thing with bricks. If they dry too fast, they're just going to crack. And they're not going to hold brick. It's not going to hold up under pressure. You're going to have
Oh,
a
I get it.
foundation.
So it's like how we talk about grounding every day and all that, like grounding into the fire. Like you're the flame. You literally are the flame now, and grounding into that flame, so you can be. You don't crack.
Yeah.
You know, you don't break. You don't. I don't know why that visual just came in, but of us being the flame is very important because we have
Well, we
had trial
are
by
in the violet flame.
Yeah,
You know,
violet flame, all of it for
all
years.
of our right, all of our heroes, all of our tools are within us, and we are the violet flame. It is within us.
Yeah.
We have access to all of that.
So
we know
now.
gas.
Yeah. And we do. We know now because we've experienced it. We experimented with all of our tools, and we're still learning. I mean, I don't, by no means do I think we're finished. I think we're going to learn a lot more. I think a lot more surprises and magic and miracles are coming in. And I like what Leah wrote here. Yes, I'm beat up, and guess what? I'm not going to push myself into more discomfort.
That's
Absolutely.
Right.
Love
you know,
that, Leah.
We're the only ones breaking our necks. And calming our triggers and look, they're working so hard at keeping our triggers on. We just have to look at the news.
Yes.
Because even those who are trying to help us change the world are still using clickbait to get us to watch the show. And it's getting to be, it's disgusting to me that there's so much clickbait out there.
Yeah, me too. That's why I don't even like to come and do shows because I feel like I'm part of the problem. But I know I'm coming in here and I know we're going to speak our truth. And that's
You're
all
not
there is
using
to it.
clickbait. I'm talking about those headlines that come blaring in your face. Whether it's about world disaster or anything, it's just to get your attention. And then you get there and it's a big nothing burger, to quote a couple of people, you know, or it's still something, but that yelling and screaming all the time in order to be heard. And that's what those big headlines remind me of, yelling and screaming. You don't need to do that to be heard.
No. And you see how they keep capital letters keep bringing up all the things that they taught us to do, right? Be afraid of daddy, be afraid of speaking your voice, you know. You have to yell to be heard. You can't, you can't just be. I mean, can you imagine? I think of this a lot too.
Well, and it's not just daddy and grandpa are hard of hearing. It's going to be, I'm yelling because I'm going to be heard over you.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. And there's so much to say, and it's like everything comes in so fast because I think that's another one of the problems, which is what they're trying to, hoping we don't notice, right? Information comes in so fast from our higher self and our spirit teams that we've had to adjust to understanding how to be in human form, knowing things are coming at you so fast and you're getting up to date information in the moment, and it's like, whew, I know I'm guilty of that. I do that. I'll be getting stuff and I'm just like if you stop talking, you're gonna forget it. Yes. But that's, I think, something that we're all working through, definitely. But that's a good point you brought up. They do not. There's 24/7. There's a crisis a minute. And at first I thought, well, wow, they're pretty smart. They have all this psychological stuff down, shock and awe, and all this. And I was going with that for a while, and just I'll always get, no, it seems like they know time is limited for them. Did you feel that?
Yeah. I mean, why? It's like, Stefan, I am going to watch you before I watch that other guy, because you know how I feel about the other guy.
Mm-hmm.
And why do you have to be yelling all of a sudden? Even his headlines are clickbait headlines, and don't get me wrong, there's a couple of guys out there who sound like 1950s disc jockeys when they talk. And I quit listening to AM radio because I didn't like that 1950s disc jockey. And it was classical. It was, it was when rock went to FM and there were no commercials, and it was so much better.
It was like,
and now FM's just like what they're doing to us with streaming. Now you can pay a little bit extra if you don't want to have commercials. This is crazy.
Yeah.
It's just damn crazy.
It's like, how many ways have they made money off of us? And they've been stringing it out along the whole way. That's why I'm just like, I don't even want to discuss money, because money is the thing that is glue holding all this shit show together. And it's not even real. It's not even real.
Medicine. I'm telling you, they're only out to get you feeling better.
That's it.
Because they can't cure you.
No.
They can cure you. They don't want to cure you, because then you won't come back, and they need their money. But people are always sick, and people are always changing, and people always have to tend to something. So why do you plague us? And why do you epidemic us with the same old crap? Now, now there's certain drugs that are a big deal to make people take. And those drugs are the ones that, like, well, let's make them so expensive. And then when they go generic, they can be less expensive, but we got to get them addicted to taking this. You can't just wean off. You got to wean off, or you can't just stop. And you need to have a prescription to get it. And God, it's like, you guys, what you're doing is just making it worse someplace else in the body. They don't seem to be on the same page and treat the whole person. They don't look at the whole person. Everybody is suddenly, when did that happen? Everybody had to be specialized. And you go to your general practitioner, and they have limits.
And now
they're the only ones limited.
They're the only ones limited. They're the only ones saying who needs what credentials to have this. And then you get someone like Trump come in and saying becoming a nurse or a teacher isn't a career, isn't worthy for you, whatever he did. I don't even know what he did with it. But I mean, the whole thing has been a setup. Every step of the way, their society, they've put a lot of money into making us sick by what they do to the food, the air, the soil. Yeah. They've put a lot of money into researching how to psychologically harm us instead of psychologically heal us.
Yeah, because they're making sure that there's still trigger headlines.
Yeah. And for what? I mean, well, I get their end point, I guess. I mean, if I was a heartless and soulless entity, I I don't know. What's your goal? What do you know? Money's not real. You're just abusing people.
And crypto's even less of a fantasy.
I never understood who would believe, like, I'm going to give you money for an error account with these coins in it. I don't understand it.
It's
Not
like,
that I haven't,
I just bought an air guitar.
not just, I can play the air guitar good
Why
too,
did you have
Diana.
to pay for an air guitar? I don't understand. Why did you have to pay for it? What do you mean you bought an air guitar? It's just crazy. It's just crazy. I mean, and just because I'm dealing with this stuff right now and in the middle of it, and it aggravates me because I see what's going on.
Mhm.
It was, and my dear friend who is a doctor also says, I hate medicine. This is ridiculous what they're doing. She retired, basically, but she still takes hours because of what she does, you know, but she's not working like she was working. And so it's like, oh my God, it's ridiculous. Everybody's got this and that and the other thing to say, and then they throw their ego in there.
And the thing that gets me right is like if everyone just said we're not doing another thing until this, and this is all taken care of, you know, but we can't seem to even come on to that. Like, and I get it. A lot of people don't know what's going on. They're in shock. They're really in shock. I thought there would be more pushback once we found out that the conspiracy theories were true. I used to always say that, you know, everybody would say, oh, you're just a conspiracy theorist. And no, this is the truth, and it's a sick truth. No one wants to hear this sick truth, and I get that. But I mean, that's never going to fix anything by ignoring it, you know.
Yeah.
And here we are. We know every aspect of our lives is a setup, is designed to either take money from us, make us sick, or drive us insane. And,
right.
and we're the only ones who can say, okay, enough. We don't want any more of this. And that was kind of my main focus in my question these last few days to the guides. And they were like, look, you got to see for what it is, but also always know that no matter what, you can tell by the way that they're behaving, you're raising in frequency. You know your life is totally different than it was 5 years ago, than it was 10 years ago, than it was 15 years ago. And you keep going with that. You know it's true.
Right.
Why are you letting them clickbait you, basically?
We have the truth is surfacing. The truth
I love that.
Surfacing.
Yes.
And in that is where we need to stand. That's what we need to attach ourselves to.
Oh, I love
and
that.
do the best we can to avoid being in that fray. It's the lunatic fringe.
Oh, I'm not gonna listen to that
song. Singing right now, lunatic fringe.
I love that song. Oh my God, I'm gonna listen to that. Yeah, it's like, what would I write here? You know, fire, activism, illumination, embodiment. You want to embody your magic. You want to embody. You don't want to think that, oh, you know, my higher self or my best self or whatever is over there and I'm over here and I can't be it. You are it. You are it at every moment. You're the only thing that's interfering with that knowing is that programming from the old era. And the minute you say, you know what, I'm all here, you know, my team's with me, they're bringing me information. I'm pretty good at this, and trust in yourself. And you know, we're coming out of like baby steps, right? We're baby steps, and these entities are masters at illusion, confusion, and manipulation. They're narcissists, and it's, you know, it's kind of like you need that bubble of protection on you. You need to have that that buffer between you and that kind of entity to protect yourself, but at the same time know that they're not any they're much weaker than any of us. That's why they got to do something 24/7.
You know, earlier today
So,
I was on the shore with Terry and we were talking about, you know, how we're on the threshold. But if we
mm,
eliminate the word threshold, threshold is
mm-hmm,
entering into that portal, right? But what is a
mm,
it, thresh and thrash are the same word. They mean the same thing. They're just spelled different.
ah,
And a thresher is it's a shark. And it's a shark that smacks the water with its tail, usually um, works in pairs, and it makes the fish collect into a school, and they so tightly pack this shoal that they can gobble it all up in a couple of fell swoops. But when we thresh something, we are shaking it off. Well, that is some somatic shaking, right? And and we can be that thresher. We can do that stuff. So it's taking the plants and beating them or smacking them against something in order to separate the grain from the plant itself. So that's the place where we're at. Well, they keep us on this verge of being in that constant fight or flight or fear, you know, fear, fright, flight. Well, you know what I'm saying. When being in there, no matter what kind of a reaction we're going to have, there's 90 seconds of silence. Pre-verbal is the first reaction. No speaking. And in that, how many of us went through the trauma before we knew how to speak? And so it's so deeply embedded that we've never found the words. An infant who gets smacked. Think of that. I mean, when I was working with abused and neglected kids, there's some unbelievable cases. Unbelievable cases. So when we were carrying that kind of stuff with us, how do we get rid of it? Well, one of the things that we had talked about is standing in this threshold. Okay, so think back to when you were a kid. Did you stand in the threshold of a doorway? Not on either side, but right dead in the center. And take this part of your hands and press that against the doorway. And press and press and press so hard. So much tension, so much sheer force. And then release, and you couldn't stop it. Your hands continue to float up into the air. And Valerie, if you've never done that, you need to get up and do it. And then you need to teach Raven. It is the most exciting because you can't stop it. Your hands are going to go up and up. And that's the elevation that we're in. So if we're part of that somatic shaking is to just clench your body and then relax it. And clench your body and relax it. And that can do and help you the same way that getting out there and doing the whole shake thing. Remember Grey's Anatomy, and the girls would be screaming, shake it, dance it out, come on, let's dance it out. And they'd get over the trauma and they'd get over the trouble or whatever. He doesn't love me anymore. Let's dance it out. Let's dance it out. I didn't pass my test. Let's dance it out. Well, that's the same thing as shaking. But we can do it in other ways too, you know, doing chubby checkers the twist. Or just clenching and relaxing and clenching and relaxing. Frenetic energy. Thank you, Gina. I find that when I speak, people listen. When I shout, people tune me out. Exactly. Exactly.
It's just like, but
Yeah.
our nervous systems are being upgraded. All of our bodies, all of our energy bodies are being upgraded, and we're coming into that higher consciousness being that we are, but we're coming into the physical body
Yeah.
that has just lived many lifetimes in very restrictive programming. So it's not like you just flip that switch and, oh, here I am. You know, you had to release a lot. We all had pain and trauma and horrific things happening to us. We see horrific things happening. And my God, do want to say something about that. Yes, you are hearing a lot of things and you are seeing a lot of things but we can't really tell what's real anymore. You know, like Dinah was saying about the clickbait, it's enough to know that that is going on. We don't need pictures and video of it. Um, I think that's what they're trying to do. They keep finding more stuff. I don't know. I
Well,
can't.
when we read the clickbait, that's like reading the headlines and you go, oh, I know what that's going to be all about.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, they forget that we're psychic, that the other half of this YouTube community are the psychics. So why are you bothering?
Well, I know that you're pushing so many people away. Like I only want authentic. That's my choice to be authentic, to be an authentic me. But I don't want to hang around fake people. I did that. How many years have we did we have to do that just to fit in, or you had to hide who you were just so you weren't looked at like you're crazy or there's something abnormal about you. But that's those are all choices, and here we are. We're coming into, well, who am I? Who am I? Who do I? uh, What is it I want to experience? Who do I want to be? And it is all about the truth, and the mask is coming off. All of those who can't be in their truth, be their authentic self, it's like we can see them a mile away now. And I almost feel bad for them because I look at them like, man, it didn't have to be like that, but whatever.
You
I
didn't
can't.
make, yeah, that was what you chose.
Yeah.
You get to a point in your age, you choose what you want to be. So, like, other things that we can do is to scream. That primal scream, that still means something. And what are we doing? There's shaking going on because we're vibrating our throat chakra, we're vibrating our lungs, we're vibrating our
Mm-hmm.
solar plexus, just in the scream itself. Then there's a tension that goes in the body in order to get that much noise out. It's a forcing. You have to do that. Or just getting in the car by yourself. 8 acres wide sinkhole swallows land and infrastructure, but I didn't see where. That's silky, so that's someplace in Europe probably.
Oh my God.
Anyway, it was just a drop down that came down. I digress. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But Sicily's crumbling, and
Mm-hmm.
Malta and all these other places are having issues. Anyway, but when we need to vent,
Yeah.
and you just get in the car and drive and start talking to that person as if they're really there, right there next to you,
Mm-hmm.
it gets it out. And even if you are able to still have that person in your life and be able to confront them, that anger that could ruin any communication that you're trying to get across,
Mm-hmm.
you can get rid of that. You can soothe the anger part so that when you do confront them with what you don't like about something, you've already had that angst and gotten that undealt with trauma out of yourself.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot, right? And those vibrations and frequencies and resonances, they help us tune into the frequency that we are. I was going to say that we're becoming. Um, okay, they're remembering. We're remembering because we have been higher frequency. And I don't want to say because I don't know for a fact in the human body, I don't know. But I know this is new for humans at this level to come in, to come have their higher self come in more. But the higher self had needed a clean container. Couldn't be carrying around all that pain and trauma and programming and all that kind of stuff, So it's pretty cool to to think we're just scratching the surface right now. We have no idea, and it is about, this is to me the most important things, the question that we all need to kind of focus on right now. How do you discern what truth is anymore? If that is internal, your gut is helping you. You can, I see videos and my kids will say, Mom, that's fake. And I'll be like, damn, it looks, it's a kitten video. Who would make a fake kitten video?
Well, and I drew these two cards while I was talking about all those gyrations in the,
Yeah.
and I can't believe what I just read because I hadn't read them yet, right? Okay, this one is flow with the rhythm. And so what do we have? Dance it out. We got to dance it out.
My God. And that's an eclipse.
Say that again.
That's an eclipse, isn't it? A picture of an eclipse.
It's the ring of fire.
Okay, I'm like, what? That's so
right?
Cool. Yeah.
So the caption underneath it says, "Get lost in the rhythm of the movement today," which is the fire horse coming in, right? And then the next card I pulled says, "Get lost."
Oh, I love it.
And this one just told you to get lost in the rhythm, in the flow of the rhythm. And this one, get lost means fall deep into the realm of the imagination. So what it takes for you to get rid of that trauma that you've been carrying with you, that keeps getting triggered because of the way society is setting us up, shake it up. Get up and dance.
Shake it up.
Like Leah, she plays music all day long, and I love it because she sends me links to awesome, awesome tunes that I've known and tunes that I didn't know.
They are so cool. All of you are so cool. Thank you. And see, here's an Iron Fire Horse.
Trust me, I know. I'm a dancer, and I haven't been able, and I am so like, I gotta dance. I gotta dance.
You guys are giving me, I gotta get back into dancing. I gotta get, I get too serious. I get too wrapped up in how's this all gonna work out? How's everybody gonna be saved? Or what? And it's not for me to say, it's not for me to say. All I could do is bring in the information that I glean, which God knows is probably just scratching the surface, and hopefully share it. And here we are sharing with each other. But I got to get out of that seriousness. I need to dance. I think that's a good way to look at this. Lighten up, enjoy your life, bring in the frequencies, because those are authentic frequencies. I used to dance. I remember, oh my God, in the 80s and stuff. I was out in the club every night. I mean, that's not what I want to go back to, but that's all I thought there was until life got real serious.
Yeah. This was great because my daughter-in-law used to be a dancer. She took tap and ballet like all the rest of us, right? So, but one day she just stopped dancing and you couldn't get her to dance. And when I first moved here, I felt so awesome because I'm a crazy lady and I'm out on the dance floor all the time. My brother's band was playing and everybody went to the bar to go watch them play. And she got up on the dance floor and danced with me because there's wild abandonment in that music. And it's not, nobody's looking at me. If they are, I'm not aware of that because I'm not looking at anybody.
Yeah.
I'm busy listening to the music. And you know, the dance floor gets crowded. And who's
Yeah.
looking at anybody? We're just dancing to the music. Before you know it, everybody's dancing together, and no, there are very few partnered up people. It's
Right.
just
Yeah.
the
And
big
it's
mosh
something,
pit.
yeah, and it's something the body needs to do. The body needs to, because
Exactly.
it does. It gets all that stuff out of there. It gets stuck in our cells and molecules, and this causes the pain. Really,
Yeah.
it's one of the ways to get. I mean, we get a massage or we go and do things like that because it's getting it out of the, cells.
Yeah.
I didn't even know this deck is it's the, which one is it? Oracle of the Unicorns. I got anger, but look at this. I didn't know it had a fire unicorn in there.
Oh, wow.
And it says anger. I never picked a card before. It says, please express your anger. Use anger as a
You can't
positive
make this
force.
shit up.
Huh?
You
You
just
can't.
can't make this shit up. That is,
I mean, it's so cool.
and
And
I
it
got
says,
the,
you got the Trojan horse.
I got the Trojan horse, the 5 of Hearts.
Oh, I
This is
love
the
it.
storyteller deck. I mean, it's a great deck. But go on.
It just says, honor all your emotions as sacred.
You know, that's just what we were talking about.
Yeah.
You cannot make this shit up.
And here's where we are. We are the leaders coming in. I believe our old crones, the wise ones, we're the ones that are going to bring in the truth, right? The truth of what's going on. I mean, the truth, everything that's not true is just cracking. It's just falling down like broken mirrors. But this says leadership. Step into your leadership. Share your message. Inspire and empower others. And that's all I ever wanted to do. But I can get a little bit too wrapped up into the negative stuff if I don't watch myself.
Well, this is great because first I picked, hold on, the 5 of Hearts, which is representative of the 5 of Cups, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's out in the open, they're empty, but you're ignoring the 2 that are behind you that you can still utilize, right? The Trojan horse had things hidden. And then I got the 5 of Scepters, the 5 of Wands. And what do we have? Is that a scorpion or a lobster?
Oh, I say it's a scorpion.
Right?
Yeah.
Now we've got 2 5s in a row. And then the next card to come out was the Fool. And he's on the donkey.
Oh.
But he's riding backwards because he'd rather see where he's been than where he's going, right?
Oh man. Oh man. And isn't that a good point too though, Diana, right? Like we're so conditioned to be comfortable, like don't step out of the box. That we don't even dream like what's out there? What is out there? I mean, I know we dream. I'm not saying that, but like to really have the courage to go and become a whole new you and a new energy and a new frequency. I mean, it's kind of a lot, right?
Yeah.
So that's where they were saying to me about this fire horse energy was like you got all year. You're gonna get into more used to it as you go through. And do you know what next year is going to be? Chinese New Year. The fire. Oh, geez, what? Ram.
Yeah. I thought it would, well, because we just got done with all of the wood. Go through the elements, and then we go through a year where there's no elements, where it's the ether, right? Go through 12 years of no element. No fire, earth, water, and air.
That's something. That is something. Yeah, and this is what's the last time this is going to happen for 60 years? And the last time it happened, right, was 66. And if you got to think of the late 60s, the hippie movement, we're coming back into that because now all the veils have fallen. We can see the truth. We can
Yeah.
see what's real and what's not, right?
Yep.
Something else, man, when you look at it. And we are sacred, these revelations that are very shocking are having us really go deep within ourselves and say, uh, okay, where's the line? I don't think a lot of us, even though there's a lot of us who are into conspiracy theories, right? And like I said, I never thought I would be totally that would be validated as much as it has been in the last like couple weeks. But besides that, it's like, okay, now and you know that you knew that, but you also know that that's how they behave out there.
Yeah.
And how do you reconcile inside of yourself with that knowledge?
It's hard to do.
And that's what we're here.
And it's being on the perimeter of things that
Mm,
that teaches you.
mm,
You
yeah,
make your own choice and then you sleep with it.
yeah.
What do you want it to be when you crawl out of bed in the morning? You want to be covered with fleas, or do you want to just get up and take care?
I love that. I love that. Yeah. I mean, it's so true. Every moment we have a choice, like you said, we get to choose what we're living and who we are. So my thing about the truth though is, right, I know all of us here are in our truth and we are authentic, and now having to um we're going to have to discern, right, the outer world and the clickbait and the videos and the information that's coming in. And I just feel like I keep seeing like there's this, well, I've always been shown this, is that the split is going on. Those who are heart centered and soul centered are raising in frequency, and those are heartless, soulless are not. So, but we kind of gravitate towards each other. Like there's really no way phony can come into your circle.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think. I don't know. Does that make sense? I'm trying to make it make sense. Old identities are gone, and those entities are being illuminated. They what did I put here? They have no conscience, no sense of morality, and their actions speak for them, and they're pretty vile.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got the Diana Cooper deck out for the golden future. If you ever need some ideas on what the the new era will look like, she has this deck which has a book, but she also has a book called The Golden Future that really gives you some insight into, like right here, I picked food, uh, choose locally grown organic produce. I think we all try to do that the best we can.
Yeah.
And then I got work satisfaction. Seek that which fulfills your soul. And what they really wanted me to say there, it's not so much, it's what do you love to do? We put work is almost like a bad word in our vocabulary, because it was always stuff we didn't want to do. But this is what fulfills your soul. So what are you passionate about? What gives you that joy to be here and enjoy life?
Right.
And then the last one I got was a blueprint for 5D humanity. Remember your gifts and your powers. Now, see, and if you can see all around that person, all their energy bodies are being,
Oh, look at that.
yeah, they're being realigned and upgraded, right? That's
It's
what's
like a
really
heat.
going on. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
looks like one of those math things that Edward Grant does.
I love these. I love these cards. They're so happy, and it's so true, right? We're just like the air, the water, the soil. Just bless that every day. And my team assures me that that can be cleaned up really quick. Because
Yeah,
I'll be that person sitting here worrying about, well, the water's all shitty. What are we gonna do now? What do we do?
yeah. Oh my God, did you see what's going on in DC?
No, what?
4,500 gallons of raw sewage going into the Potomac. It's already been happening. There's a broken pipe. It's been happening for over a week, and it's not going to get fixed for 6 months. When you brought out that card with the Merkaba dicahedron thing,
Mhm.
this one came out, the yes card, the angels screaming yes.
I love that card. That's so pretty. Well, what in the
But then
world?
I got, well, let me show you these three other cards first, because they're, I think, pretty important. The first one that came out was the inner child healing, which is what we were just talking about with the somatic shaking and all of that business. And then we got the strength and the guidance that we need in order to do this. Sometimes we can't do it alone. And so when that is the case, please reach out to somebody. And then the next card is the healing energy period. And that's my boy, Raphael.
Oh, those are
My
beautiful cards.
man, my masculine angel, Raphael.
They are beautiful cards, though, Diana.
This is the Kyle Gray angel guides.
I never saw that one. I like that.
It's an older deck. I think it was in the 90s. He's got a couple of them that are like this. Don't quote me on that. He might have been in the early 2000s, like 2006 or 7.
Oh, Rossi says EPA got gutted. Yeah, that's probably exactly everything they did is just coming back. So how come that it's going into the Potomac, but they can't fix it for 6 months? Is that like?
Well, because there's nobody to fix it. He can't even send the what is that? Rossi, what's that emergency?
Oh, FEMA.
No, well, FEMA, yes. Oh, now right. Trump right away blamed the Democrats for taking the funds away from FEMA.
Oh my God.
You see what?
And then they think that they could just get away with doing that because it works for them so well. They just blame the Democrats, and
it's the National Guard could go in and help, but it is.
Oh, I know who you mean.
It's like
the engineers. The engineers.
Yeah, the civil engineers. Thank you, civil engineers.
Army Corps of Engineers.
Army Corps of Engineers. Okay. There you go. 9 months, and Trump is blaming the black government. Oh, that's true too. That's the other thing he did was hit the governor of Maryland. What's he got to do with Potomac? Does Trump forget that the Potomac's in D.C. and is under his jurisdiction?
Oh, I didn't
know
the
issue. Yeah,
I didn't know this.
Army Corps of Engineers.
Madame Maru says Hegseth has eliminated the Army Corps of Engineers. He did?
The minute he got into office.
How can they get away? Like I purposely don't look at everything because I would go insane. But my God, how can they get away with this stuff? I mean, how do you do that? How do you just take every part of your country, the glue that's holding it together, and rip it off? And then it's fact that you were a bunch of, oh my God, murdering pedophiles, and you're just sitting there doing this shit, gaslighting everybody with narcissism.
Yeah.
I just can't. I can't. No.
No. Who got caught at the today? No, Rossi, I haven't heard
Who
any
got,
news today.
who got,
And I was trying to catch up on some news before I came on with Valerie here, and the internet or YouTube was not working. And then finally, a couple of Midas Touch shows. So I was listening to Popak, and I went to click on another station, and every station was Midas Touch. Every station was Midas Touch. I'm baffled. I'm gonna get on my camel and ride and ride and ride. Well, my dear, what do you say?
she says because Theo is running everything, he wants to eliminate. Well, you know what? They're all the same group of disgusting pedophile murderers. You know, I don't understand. Like every other nation is bringing up charges, but America. I don't know how you do that with them running everything. But
Exactly.
so what I just heard is it is all going to come out, and the people, we got to stand up. We're the ones who are going to have to stand up soon. But we love you. I know, Diana, you're going to be back on. I'll be on the Friday with Kaylee. Is that the 20th? What day is?
Yes, I have a show with Diane G on the 20th.
Okay, so we'll both be, but we'll be together again on the 22nd, which is Sunday.
Yeah.
And we'll, by then, I think we're going to hear a lot of stuff this week because this is such a massive week of spiciness.
Yeah, the soothsayer in me says yeah.
Yeah. So we will.
And it's the next eclipse that we have to think about because that's the big changer. That's the full moon. This is the new moon. This is the beginning of the end. Is this the beginning of the end? And then in 2 weeks, March 3rd, is this the end? Because it'll be the full moon.
And you really want to plant your seeds now and use that Aquarian brilliance to help you align to what it is that, you know, Leo rules the heart, you know, Aquarius rules the mind. They're across from each other. Pull that into you. Pull what your heart really want to experience. What does it prefer? Because that Virgo full moon lunar eclipse is going to uncover what's hidden.
Yeah.
And that's that Virgo. That Virgo's not going to miss nothing. And it's going to show us everything that we have missed since, what was that? That last eclipse was 29 degree Virgo.
Yeah.
Last year.
Now we're at 28 degrees, right? Wasn't that true today?
That's for today, yeah. And so the moon is 12. That's the first one that isn't 13, but it might as well be on the full moon.
Yeah.
So well, let's say that 13 degree Virgo. You don't want none of that. 13. I like 13 degrees, but a lot of people don't. You know, it's the goddess and stuff.
Well,
but
I like it. That's that pinnacle because 15 degrees is the middle. And so 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I like every degree because each degree has its own little mandala.
Oh, that's what I wanted. I just wanted to remind you guys. Yes, okay. So you brought that. I put it in the notes. I just the Sabian symbol for the 29 degree Aquarius, because you got to use Sabian symbols a degree ahead, is a butterfly emerging from a chrysalis. And that represents ultimate spiritual transformation. And I think most of us can attest to that metamorphosis and liberation. It signifies leaving behind the restricted, limited form, chrysalis, for a new, higher, more beautiful state of being.
Oh.
A profound, life-changing personal breakthrough, spiritual awakening, or finally breaking free from past limitations. Now, as I was putting that up there, and they were showing me the old era, all that old programming, all that old stuff, all that stuff's gone. You're coming into a new way of being able to be in the moment, trust yourself because you are that connected to the divine, to your own divinity, and live a good life, live your life. And I did look up 10 degrees. I'm sorry, it's 8. Well, the nodes are backwards, so I wasn't sure. I got 8 and 9. 9 is a jockey. Okay, now Venus is sitting there with that north node at 8 degrees. So I'm talking about 9. Right? It says the intense concentration of an individual on a small part of the total life sphere. It represents having the faith and determination to achieve higher goals. Now, see, that's just it. Like that, to me, is what we're doing. Thousands of years, and we haven't been here at 20 on the 20th with Saturn and Neptune. It's like 8,000, 6,000 years ago.
Right.
This is huge, and we're coming into this, and we're at the forefront of it, I think.
Yeah.
And Pisces 8, I'll just say that because they were showing it. It's a girl blowing a bugle, the herald of a new experience, a call to rise to a new occasion. It signifies heralding or proclaiming one's knowledge. So, like everything we've learned over these 26,000 years, here we are going. And it's all just kind of coming in real slow. So be patient. And
Right.
we love you. And we will be back on Sunday. But you can see Diana on Friday with Diane G. Is that on?
And you with Kaylee?
Me with Kaylee. I'm on at 6. What time do you guys come on, Diana?
5 o'clock.
Okay, so cool. Oh, what's all that?
So I've got my fox, my darling black sheep of the family, who is me, and my camel, and a little bit of Buddha too.
Oh, I love Buddha. Look at that. That's a beautiful Buddha.
Yeah, Kelly brought this back. She went to India last year, and she got me a little gift.
Oh, Kelly Healer? Kelly?
Yeah, Kelly Healer.
Oh,
Kelly
that's
Kelly.
So
Kelly. So
Kelly Healer.
I love y'all, but boy, am I fading.
I know you're tired. I love you. Thank you for hanging on as long as we went an hour and a half. So, but it's a big day, and we will see you this weekend. We'll see you on Sunday. We love you. Be safe.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for coming, Madame Maru and everybody else. I don't have my phone, so I don't know who's here.